Welcome back, everybody. Today I want to go ahead and hop into the Enchanting. Now, I know this has been a long time coming, and I promised I would get this out earlier, and I sincerely apologize for the latency, but really GT Arcade hasn't pushed my envelope. And what I mean by that is they haven't really come out with anything worthy of me to do this, because at this point, I think it is, whoops, sorry, wrong screen here. If I go into the crafting and go down to the elemental stones, they haven't really, until this event, and they have not come out with any reasonably cost or even available resources as far as these medium essences and advanced or mythic looking essences to craft these larger or more advanced enchanting stones, or whatever you want to call them. So the whole point of this system here for you is to go ahead and awaken whatever skill set you want to try to maximize, right? Now, each one is different, meaning each category of equipment, you have your accessories, your armor, and your weapons. And obviously there's only 3 accessories, 2 weapons, and 5 armor. But if you do look, it's 21 for the armor, 12 for the accessories, and 9. So it is kind of scaled based on the amount that you have. But if you think about it, you have essentially for the weapons, you have 6 slots, right? So the most you can get on a basic, because you can only get 1 through 3 per roll you do, and I'll get to that in a second, is, 6 times 3, so 18. It's not even going to get you to the middle tier. So what's the point of spending all these resources in dust to go ahead and just roll and waste all these fragments, right? So this is what I'm really saying to you, is that don't spend your fragments, don't spend your actual stones, save them until it is necessarily available for some kind of reasonable price, okay? As you can see here, I've been saving all my fragments as well as my overall stones, because once they do become available, then you're looking at a much different story, okay? If you look here back in the crafting and we go back down, and you want to stay down to the elemental stones, even at the medium level, okay? Now you roll 5 through 7. Now, for example, if you maximize those at 7, and you only have 6, you're looking at 42? That's a little bit different. So just to put it back in perspective, if we go back to the elemental guide, to the weapons, and then the awakening, and let's just say weapons, and we go here, 21, 48. So you can't get the last tier, but you could most easily get the middle tier at 21. That's half, right? So you wouldn't necessarily need all of them to be at max. Now, the bad side to this enchanting, which I'm sure most of you have figured out by now, is you can't unenchant. You can just replace the enchantment. You don't get your fragments back. You don't get your stones back. Nothing. It's a pure roll of luck, right? So if I have this one here and I want to add my materials, and let's just say I do add a stone and an essence of dust, and I roll here, it could be a 1 again. It could be a 2. It could be a 3. Whatever it is, right? It's luck, and these things aren't the easiest to come by, and that's why I'm highly recommending you start saving them, opposed to just continuing to try to get 3 across the board for most of these. And as you can see, I filled mine in a little bit before this kind of thought filled my head with, like, hey, this game, they're going to come out with something, everybody's going to get excited about it, we'll use all their resources, and then finally what's necessary to take it to the next level will become available at a reasonable price, and then you'll be SOL, right? So my advice to you is save them. Now it'll show you up here kind of overall owned as far as you have acquired them. I don't have any unlocked here. The only one I do have activated here is a 6% chance to summon Chain Lightning when dealing 200%, blah, 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 right? Each one has its own significant factor, right? And if you look at, let's just say the ice skill in general, attacks have a 4% chance to reduce the movement speed of 3 targets, okay? And if we look at the armor, It says it shield summons a shield for 15 seconds capable of absorbing 20% of damage. And here, when attacked, there's 4% chance to convert 40% of damage taken HP. So, each one's going to be a little bit different. This is reduced movement speed, and chance to reflect, and there's a chance to paralyze. So, depending on what you're going for, each different element is probably best based on the category. So for instance, for me, if I had to pick and had all the resources necessary to go ahead and just max out whatever I wanted, I would probably do the reflect. If I have a 3% chance for like 60% of the damage, that's astronomical. Okay, now the second best would probably be paralyze, but for 1 second at a 4 or 2 seconds at a 4% chance, I'd rather have the 3% chance to reflect. Okay, so for armor, I'd probably start working towards fire. Accessories, let's see, look, capable of absorbing damage. Let's see, inflict fear, don't really care. Deals 300 damage to 400 enemies, don't really care. Triggers rampage, 15 seconds, increases your damage. Not really probably that practical. I would probably go to under the accessories to absorb damage. So I have a reflect, which is kind of technically a defense, but really an attack. I would go here to absorb damage to negate some of the when I'm not casting that spell. And here's 6% chance to the chain lightning. Same thing here with heavenly fire, summon blade. So essentially these are all attacks. Okay, so pick what you want. I personally went with lightning because I'm going to use fire and ice on other ones. I guess I could have chose wind if I really wanted to, but I obviously didn't because of the number of targets and the percentage that the lightning does. Okay, so keep that in mind. Look through them. Figure out what's best for you. I'm not saying this set example is going to be the rule by all, be all, whatever you want to say. But I think it's a good setup and something to intelligently work towards when you're looking at these enchanting tables here for you, because this is the whole point. So kind of recap: 1, save your fragments, save your stones. Don't waste them until we have the catalyst to go ahead and craft medium or advanced stones. Make sure you're decomposing your level, or I should say, smelting your level 10 gear that you craft that you don't need, because that will get you more dust to be able to go ahead and enchant these things once you do. And then at the same time, make sure you're working towards a common theme. Okay, the only set that you may be able to double dip on is armor, but keep in mind that they still scale these awakenings to the amount that you use. So I would sincerely work towards 1 on each of them. And as you can see, I made that mistake. Okay, besides my weapons that I'm starting to, augment back to them, I'm all over the place, right? If you look at the accessories, damage 4 enemies 15 seconds. I didn't even do it right. I should be on ice, right? Here I should be, for armor, I should be on fire. So these fires should be here. These ices should be here. I'm all over the place. But that's not the point. The point is, when I finally realized it, I wanted to get the information out there to you so you didn't make the same mistake, or if you have, you can correct yourself from it and move forward to the best of your character's ability. Okay, so as always, I appreciate everybody for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate all the support. You guys have a great day.